Oh, this is Horridon, motherfucker. There's ads, there's trolls, there's fucking dinos. Dude, you guys are going to be impressed with this fight. If you haven't done it already, this is definitely my favorite fight so far in the first. I mean, this might be one of my favorite fights in the game, to be honest with you. This is an awesome fight. What we're going to do is we're going to look at, if you weren't here for the first video, I now have full footage of the fight, but the fight's too long, so I cut it down for what you will see. We'll look at the fight. I'll discuss the mechanics now, and then I'll show you the actual footage of the fight so you can get a good visual indication of essentially what's happening. Now, if you don't follow this type of series, realize that this is not a strategy for your raid. Okay, this is a healing guide for healers. All right, so I'm assuming that your raid is doing everything correct, and this is for you as a healer, how to maximize yourself, and to you, for you to learn what to expect from strictly a healing perspective. All right, so you'll enter the room from here. This is where the boss is going to be, the red marker. Okay, he'll start there. Now, essentially what I think I'd recommend to anyone is, this will, I guess, will be a bit raid strategy-wise, but I would recommend 3-tanking this on 25-man heroic, or 25-man normal, sorry, because there's just no reason not to. The enrage timer, a little tight, but, I mean, we managed to do it. We had probably about 35 seconds left, and we really did not have, we had 7 healers and 3 tanks, and it was only our 3rd attempt, so I'm pretty sure this can be done easily, and it's so much easier to heal and tank if you have 3 tanks. If you do have 3 tanks, you can essentially keep the boss in this area of the room, like anywhere near here, okay? And the 2 tanks just swap. You're going to need a dedicated healer or 2, based on how good, each are, the tank and the healers respectively. Excuse me. And, once you do, that's all you need to know. You just need to keep that tank alive. But for the actual raid healers, people doing the majority of the healing, it's a bit more complicated. Now, if you aren't aware, the 4 gates become active. As I said, not going to discuss that much. But for the yellow gate, the only thing you have to worry about as a healer is dispelling the... Let's see the exact name. I don't want to look like a jackass, do I? Oh, I'm going to, because it's not up. Yeah, it's on the Waste Walker. These guys need... Yeah, Blazing Sunlight is the name of it. Okay, Blazing Sunlight, they're going to come out. First, there's going to be 1, then there's going to be 2, and then I think 2 more come out at some point. So these guys need to be focused down. If they're not being focused down, well, then you're fucked, because you're going to have a lot more to dispel. But there's going to be probably 6 of these going out at a time, so you'll need to all dispel as much as possible. The longer it's on, the worse it gets. Okay, that's essentially it for this door. But just realize, before we get too far into this, that conservation is the name of the game on this fight, because there's going to be a lot of random damage, and it's going to get really brutal if you don't handle it properly. Okay, so for the yellow door, very straightforward. Just disrupt, wow. Anyway, just interrupt the spell if possible, and dispel the Blazing Sunlight when it happens. Now, the green one... A very similar concept. Okay, there's only one real mechanic that healing needs to worry about, minus the stuff on the ground, obviously, and that is going to be the Venom Priest's Venom Volley or some shit like that. Let's see the exact name of it for you. This is a Gurabashi one. Venom Priest is going to do, Venom Bolt Volley, okay? And then he's also going to summon a Venomous Effusion, who's going to do the same thing. Okay, so there's going to be like 7 or 8 of those things up at once at one point if you're not keeping track on them. So... they need to be interrupted. To be honest with you, it would be more efficient for the healers to not heal and interrupt than it would be for them to actually heal, because they put a stacking poison debuff on everyone in the raid, and literally, like, it's going to happen. You're going to get some stacks, there's no doubt. And if you get more than 5 or 6, you are in serious trouble. Okay, but Metro's here to bring you a fucking tip. This is the insane part. Okay, after all of them are dead... Right, you'll still have whatever, like we had 6 stacks, and I thought we did a great job of interrupting them, but still, there's still a few that get by. So after they're all dead, if you have a monk healer, he can use revitalization, right, his cooldown, his big cooldown, and it will dispel everyone in the raid of every stack. Okay, so take that to heart. If you don't have a monk healer and you are struggling with this fight, consider switching one or bringing one, because that's like the biggest class thing that I have seen in this raid so far, minus on Tortos. Okay, this is insane. That is mandatory, essentially. So if you can do, you know, fuck it. Even if you get 10 stacks, just heal through it until they're all dead to make sure you never get any more, and then revitalize them off. You'll never need the cooldown past that. There's no other real time to use it. So that is the... It's obvious to me. It really is. Then you move on to the blue door. These guys are going to throw diseases out. Okay, let's see the exact name. Blue door is the Drakari. Frozen. Yeah, Mortal Strike. No, that's... Yeah, I mean, there's... What is it? Yeah, here we go. Deadly Plague. That's the one. Risen Drakari spread a deadly plague when they strike. Inflicting... Yeah, so these guys fixate, and they're going to run around. So you'll want to dispel the diseases more than you'll want to do healing. Obviously, you know, the people who need healing should get it. But at this door, it's definitely your high priority to heal. Okay? It's not... There's not too many going out. Probably only like 2 or 3 at a time. You know, one person should really be able to dispel all of them if you wanted to. But that's about it for that door. And then for the final door, there's essentially nothing. Let's see if there is actually something. I don't even think there is. I think the Warbear does something. No, there's really nothing. Literally nothing. I mean, that you have to worry about as a healer. Oh, I guess they hex? I don't know. I did not notice anything, to be honest with you. So I'm not. You don't have to worry about it if you're trying to follow my advice here. Just heal people up and get ready for the final phase. And then the final phase, I'll discuss more in the actual footage of the fight. But there's essentially nothing. So as long as you employ that trick, revitalization, have a set number of tanks, tanks and healers coordinating themselves properly, this is a very straightforward fight from a healing perspective. Let's move on to the actual footage of the fight. And I'll show you exactly what needs to be done at where. Okay, so here we are. We are in the checking out the actual fight now. First-hand look at this. You'll see how epic this fight truly is, but we don't have a lot of time. I cut out the first probably 2-3 minutes of the fight. Immediately you'll see my party frame. See all the green? That's the poison from the previous one. Now, we used revitalization as I recommended, but there was still one up, and it fucking got one off. So we all had one stack, but it's gone now. The purple is the disease I'm talking about. This is the third door, by the way. You'll see the little blue orbs and stuff. So it looks like there's about 6 out at a time, maybe less. Just dispel them as soon as you can. I'm kind of slacking on that a bit. But as long as everybody's paying attention, they should all go up pretty soon. So that's not a big deal. Looks like the Dinomancer's out, so we're focused on that. In terms of healing, there's not much to predict, to be honest with you. It's kind of just whoever's taking hits from those guys, they fixate and they put the disease on. So you just keep them dispelled and keep them healed. And as long as they don't, attack the person for too long, the disease never really becomes an issue. And the fixate neither, obviously is not either. Pretty unfortunate. Double swipe there. Tank's got him a bit too close to the raid, but I've taken a moment to drink. I would definitely recommend drinking. The only real time you can afford a drink here is between doors, right? So you've just, as we've done there, just completed one door, time to move on to the next one. Pop the fucking concentration potion. Z's on the head. This is just nuts. Man is back. It's just wild. It really is. Looks like we still got one disease. I'm new, but I finally dispel it right there. This is the final gate. I guess there's a hex, but I honestly don't know where it comes in. Let's watch, shall we? Let's see if that hex happens. It says it's a disease that's dispellable, but I don't... Do we see it? I don't know. But you'll understand now why I said, look at the health bars on this gate. Looks like, who's that? Shaman with a shot. Some people get threat because our tank and our group are split up. Looks like the one of the mage, I think that's Jazz. Yeah, definitely recommend. The only way to look at this, see, the holy priest and even the druid put down their healing ship, but nobody's even standing in it. This is a very, very and the rest of shaman as well. This is a very difficult fight to heal if all the group is not together. Now you'll see the totem there on the left. That's obviously going to do damage. So if you see somebody standing in that, you could try life gripping them out of it. But otherwise, there's no real need to ever use tranquility. No real need to ever aura mastery. Nothing like that. It's just steady, constant healing. And that's why I really, really, really enjoy this fight, because it feels like a stereotypical boss encounter, but at the same time, it's so fucking epic. Look at that fucking dinosaur. Are you kidding me, dude? Look how cool that shit is, man. It's just crazy. Oh, I do love this fight. This is definitely my favorite fight so far. I think Twin Concerts is probably going to be up there as well. But yeah, we finished off. All 4 doors are down now. All the ads are dead almost. Look at this. 1 Beast Shaman left. Beast Shaman. That must be Sai. He's a Beast Shaman. And that's it. We are essentially done with the fight from a healer's perspective. Now, this is where things kind of get a bit more tricky from a healing perspective. If you have 7 healers, understand that at this point you literally don't need more than 2 healers. So this is where you want to start doing some DPS. The tank's going to move them hopefully back to the middle as all the mechanics do stay up. I did not know that at first, but they all do stay up. So you're going to have very precious room to navigate. Obviously I need to go right to the dead center. Yeah, it looks like I'm on the other side of the boss for some reason. I'm moving through now. There we go. Yeah, and there is the new boss, or whatever you want to call him, I guess. He's the 5th phase, essentially. War God Jalak or some shit like that. Jello. He basically does nothing either. He does an ability that... Yeah, that was it right there. It's just damage to everyone in the raid, and the longer he's up, the more damage it does. So you'll probably want to use cooldowns every time he does it. I guess this is a good idea. This is a good time to trank, but I mean, we kill him in like 25 seconds. That's definitely where you want to lust. So definitely not a raid strategy guide, but can't help but saying that. And then that's it. You still got lust up for the boss, so you just fucking tunnel him from here on out. Ads are down, and this is it. Like, look at what am I even doing right now? I think I'm meleeing him to get mana back, but I'm about to just straight up denounce like. Yeah, I mean, I'm realizing I'm just casting Holy Light, it looks like now. I'm starting to realize that nothing is ever needing any healing. The tanks are going to get hit kind of hard because after Jalak dies, he gets... Horridon gets a debuff, or a buff that makes him do a lot more damage and attack faster and shit, but... I mean, you could easily 2-heal this last phase, so this is definitely when you want to just DPS, essentially. Discipline Priest, even Paladins... Shaman, you guys should definitely just DPS, keep Earth Shield, keep Eternal Flame up, keep Bubbles up, but the Enrage is definitely tight. What is it? I mean, we finish it, absolutely, but I don't feel like we have more than 25, 30 seconds, so yeah, that's essentially it. I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about healing-wise. Might as well just end the audio here, but if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. This is a very, very fun fight. If you're not having fun throwing a Thunder as a healer right now, you're probably doing 10-man. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I am in love with the fight so far. We got a few more in our first session to come, so stick with them. If you have any questions, though, feel free to ask, as always.